Good afternoon and welcome back to Valley News Now. I'm Adam Shelf and I'm joined by Devin Fry, live from Texas, the sports director. What a fun time for you, my man. And it looks like you're in the hotel, but it looks sunny there. It looks like a beautiful day in Texas.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna try to here. I'll try to give you guys a better view. Can I flip the camera? This is me being an old man at this point. Here we go.
There we go.
Here she is. That's Toyota Stadium right there.
Right there. The
Yeah, there she
battleground.
is with the towers and whatnot. And then yeah, it's a solid, I think it was 55 degrees last I checked. So I'm hiding out in here with my air conditioning on. Uh I had the AC blasting in the car. Probably the first person to do that in a minute that they've seen here. But yeah, no, it's a beautiful day, beautiful weekend. I guess Monday it's supposed to be like in the 40s and cloudy, but we get a nice weekend out of it. And then football weather on Monday.
Yeah, I was just talking to Russ Thomas doing the weekend funcast. We looked at the Frisco forecast, and it's kind
Nice.
of fun. I said that it's two cold weather teams taking the cold weather with them to Texas. Kind of the perfect atmosphere, if you will, for a Montana team against a North Dakota team for all the marbles.
You just don't want the rain, especially with the field at Toyota Stadium and the reputation that it has. So as long as we avoid any kind of condensation, then there shouldn't be any issues about it. But no, and like frankly, if you're either one of these teams, you don't necessarily want to go out in 60 degrees and play. Although the Fargo Dome gets hot, you know that. You know how warm it gets down in the field level. It gets warm in there. But yeah, no, it's going to be perfect. Genuinely very excited for this matchup and, just this weekend down here overall. Very fortunate to be able to come down here for my third time now. I know I'm not any of the grizzled vets who have been here for 11 trips, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there. And this has potential to be kind of an end of an era too, with the title game set to move to Nashville as Toyota Stadium undergoes some renovations over the next 2 years. Who knows what's going to happen after that? And so it kind of feels a little different here now, and that's it has a cool feel. I think the two top teams in the country getting ready to go head to head. There's that kind of extra feel of like make it Fargo South one last time, and also get back to the national title standard that North Dakota State's used to. It's a lot of fun storylines going into this one.
Absolutely. And one of the cool storylines is you have really the two favorites for the Walter Payton Award, and that's going to be announced
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Yep. And Cam Miller and Tommy Mellott, and there is a third as well. No disrespect. However, everyone kind of agrees that it's coming down to those two guys. And it's really a toss-up. Tommy Mellott was recently named the Walter Camp FCS Player of the Year. Um, he what he's done outside of the traditional quarterback role has been crazy. He has almost 1,000 yards on the ground. He has over 2,500 yards passing. So when you have somebody that nearly has 3,500 total yards by themselves, it draws a lot of attention. So Tommy Mellott's year as just a freak athlete, borderline unmatched. However, Cam Miller's year as a quarterback has been borderline unmatched. So it kind of depends, I think, on what the voters are looking at, whether they're looking at somebody who is like leveling up the standard of what you expect an FCS quarterback to be, which is what Cam Miller has done this season, or a freak athlete like Tommy Mellott's been this year. And this Tommy Mellott thing is nothing new. He's just stayed healthy this year, and it's kind of gone up to a 10th level there for Tommy.
Devin, one thing that you mentioned the other week when we talked about this for the first time that I thought was really important for people to understand is that the voting was done before the playoffs. Now, that being
Correct.
said, who's had the better playoff resume, even if that doesn't necessarily impact voting?
Well, the one thing that was really impressive with Cam during the regular season was that he didn't turn the ball over. He had one interception in the regular season. I think he's had three in the playoffs. So if that was a factor, then I think Tommy would kind of win it pretty handily if you were just looking at the playoffs. He's definitely the playoff MVP right now, as far as I'm concerned. However, it's body of work, obviously, from before the playoffs and Cam's play from what the regular season was. And it's not like he's been is I'm not saying he hasn't been anything short of spectacular in the postseason, but he just had that extra crispness during the regular season. Like I said, threw one interception. He was I was so sure that he was going to go the entire season without throwing a pick, but now here we are. But no, and I think that it is the right move to do the voting when they did it. I think they take a little bit too long to announce it, but I'm okay with making it a end of the regular season award. Vote on it then. I think they probably need to announce it sooner than Frisco. They announced the Jerry Rice Award like a couple weeks after the finalists are named. We know Marty Brown's winning that already, so I think they could probably do the same thing with the Walter Payton Award.
Well, the billboard names are Malott and Cam. But
Mm-hmm.
tell us, what else do we need to know about this Montana State Bobcats team?
Well, I mean, they also have 2,000-yard rushers. It's not like it's just Tommy, and so like you can't go all out just to stop Tommy because they have two very capable running backs that can also destroy you in that regard. And coach, I talked to Coach Grant Olson about this last week, the defensive coordinator at North Dakota State. He said that their approach to Montana State was like a triple option team, and they're not Army and Navy under center with three different fakes per play, but they have a lot of the same concepts. It's just more spread out. Tommy is going to have a read on a handoff or a keep every single time. Now, where the triple option factor comes into that is he can pop it up to a tight end, he can send it on a wheel route. Uh, every single Bobcat has to be covered because of how crisp that offense is and the different. Coach Polisek referred to it as kind of a gadget style offense that they have. Very dynamic offense, very explosive offense. They're the second ranked rushing offense in the country. Montana State's dangerous, and I want to make that abundantly clear. Thankfully, for Bison fans, North Dakota State's front seven in particular has played extremely well. So very good against the run. That's something you want to hear. But it's those plays where Tommy pulls it on the read, everyone bites in on him, and then he just pops it up to the tight end for a touchdown. Those are the things you have to worry about. But they just have so many weapons up there, and everybody does their job so efficiently. It's very hard to defend, and that's why they're undefeated this year, frankly.
No, these teams have met, I'm seeing 39 times. So this is the 39th all-time meeting. Last few in the playoffs, and most recently that incredible game last year in Bozeman. But how much does that even impact this year? Because I know that there's a lot of returning players, but how many really? Do you think that really affects this game at all?
I'm just speaking from my experience as a player. That would stick with me. North Dakota State has been these teams have met in the playoffs 5 times. This will be the fifth time since 2018, and every single one of them has been a Bison win. North Dakota State has ended Montana State's season 4 times since 2018, including one in the national championship a few years ago. So that and Tommy and Cam were both freshmen starting that game, which is super fun that we're back at this point now. But it's time's a flat circle, man. But it, it they have pretty much outright denied that there's any extra motivation from those. But as a former player, I know that those things do stick with you. And Malott said post game after they beat South Dakota that he couldn't wait to get another shot at those guys, referring to North Dakota State. And so it's a factor. When you have a chance to snap a losing skid against a team that not only has beaten you that many times in a row, but has ended your season that many times in a row, especially with how last year ended the Bozeman block. Montana State had every right to win that game. Tommy Malott had the game of his life in that matchup. And then it came down to Hunter Pontius putting his hand up and blocking an extra point. And so when a season ends like that, when a game ends like that, it hurts. When a season ends like that, it sticks with you. And so I think there has to be a little bit of maybe not even a chip on their shoulder, but a desire to kind of change that narrative for Montana State.
Now, I believe you said media day is tomorrow, correct?
Yep. We had a chance to talk to Coach Polisek and players tomorrow. But I'm going to be spending the bulk of my day covering the Walter Payton Award ceremony,
Sure.
which that starts, I want to say, at 6. And so we're going to have a little bit of a matchup between the two for you guys tomorrow at 6. And then at 9 and 10, we'll have a full breakdown from the Walter Payton award ceremony. And then Sunday, we got you covered with all of the media day stuff you could possibly ask for. And then Monday, I'm going to go hang out in that tailgate lot over there, and we're going to hang out with Bison Nation and get ready for a national championship game on Monday night.
Excellent. Well, before I let you go, I just want to ask, what are you looking forward to most asking of the team or any players in particular? Is there anything you're really looking for answers for tomorrow's media day?
I kind of just want, because with how last year ended for North Dakota State, with what happened in Montana, and then the emotional win over South Dakota State last week, just how it feels to be back in Frisco, and especially like we mentioned, this could be the last time, at least it's going to be the last time for at least a couple of years. It could be the last time in a while that this game is held in Frisco, Texas. It's kind of become a second home for North Dakota State and their fan base. It's to be able to be back here and to be on this stage. You beat your biggest rival to do it. You're doing it with a first-year head coach. It's got to feel special to be here. And I'm interested in talking to some of the players about that. And there's guys who are making their first trip here. I know Marty Brown, obviously, making his first trip here. And then there's Cam making his third. And so I'm curious to talk to them about that. And basically just kind of get their feel for what it's like to be in this moment right now, because we talk to them ad nauseum, getting ready for this game, getting ready for who Montana State is and what they have to do in this game. But now they're here. It's going to start creeping in that you are in a national championship environment. And I'm excited to talk to them about that tomorrow.
Excellent, Devin. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we let you get back to it?
No, I'm going to take a nap. I had a 5 a.m. flight out of Fargo, so I didn't sleep last night. And so sorry if the energy was low, but that bed's calling me over there.
I am happy for you. Go get your rest and
I'm going to. And then some barbecue. I wake up, get barbecue, and then football tomorrow.
You're living the dream, my friend. Have a great time
Something
down
like
there. And say hello to the Bison fans who have made this trip. Should be a great game, and really looking forward to talking to you more Monday ahead of that game. And we'll see how it goes. It's going to be a great one. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in on Valley News Now. Adam Shalif with Devin Fry. We'll see you next time.